The Wizard and the Multiverse, classroom explaining time travel to Homer Simpson and everyone else. God bless. The Wizard sat quietly on the porch late one evening, notebook open, stars just beginning to appear above the trees. For many years he had explored meditation, quantum physics, and what some people called quantum metaphysics, the strange place where science, philosophy, and imagination sometimes overlap. He had listened to stories from remote viewers, researchers, and people who believed they had experienced unusual things, altered states of consciousness, intuitive perceptions, and even visions of possible futures. Some of the stories were fascinating. Some were difficult to verify. But the Wizard had always believed something simple: the search for truth is worth pursuing, as long as curiosity is balanced with clear thinking. One of the voices the Wizard had followed for years was the researcher Michael Salla, who discussed ideas about space exploration, unidentified aerial phenomena, and speculative future technologies. Some of the stories involved people like Jorge Pabon, who described unusual experiences connected with classified military environments near Eglin Air Force Base. According to those accounts, people had been shown experimental systems involving chairs connected to monitoring equipment, where brain activity and perception could be studied, while participants attempted remote observation of distant locations. Whether every detail of such stories was accurate or not, the Wizard found the ideas themselves worth exploring. After all, modern science already studies how the brain interacts with technology, from brain-computer interfaces to neural imaging. But explaining these ideas to the public was another challenge entirely. The Wizard's teaching method. Sometimes the Wizard liked to explain complex ideas using humour. So he imagined trying to explain the mysteries of quantum physics to someone like Homer Simpson. The Wizard laughed and began his imaginary lesson. Step 1. Understanding time. Okay, Homer, the Wizard said in his imaginary classroom. Most people think time is like a straight road. Past behind you, future ahead of you. But modern physics suggests something a little stranger. Some theories propose that the universe might behave more like a huge landscape of possibilities, where many potential timelines exist depending on choices and events. This idea appears in discussions of the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. The Wizard drew a diagram. Instead of one road, imagine a tree with many branches. Each branch represents a possible path events could take. Step 2. Consciousness and observation. The Wizard continued. Homer, in quantum physics something strange happens. Particles behave differently when measured. This is related to what scientists call quantum superposition. Before measurement, a particle can exist in multiple possible states. When measured, one outcome appears. Physicists debate what this means. Some think observation plays a role. Others believe it simply reflects how probabilities behave in nature. Either way, the Wizard explained, the universe can be more flexible than everyday experience suggests. Step 3. Remote viewing and perception. The Wizard had also studied research into remote viewing, a controversial field where individuals attempt to describe distant locations using intuition or altered awareness. The US government once funded experiments related to this topic during programs like Project Stargate. Results were mixed. Some participants produced intriguing descriptions. Others produced random guesses. The Wizard's conclusion was simple. Human perception may be more complex than we fully understand, but careful research is required. Step 4. The multiverse conversation. Back in the Wizard's imaginary classroom, Homer scratched his head. So you're saying there might be many versions of me? The Wizard nodded. In theory, some cosmologists discuss the possibility of multiple universes. Ideas like the multiverse appear in certain models of physics and cosmology. But the Wizard emphasized something important. These ideas are still speculative. Scientists continue debating them. The Wizard's personal practice. Meditation had been the Wizard's main tool for exploring consciousness. Over the years, he practiced quiet reflection, breathing exercises, and focused awareness. Sometimes these sessions produced interesting insights. Sometimes they simply produced relaxation. But occasionally he would wake up feeling groggy, as though his mind had been working very hard. The wizard joked that his brain had been running software updates overnight. The small miracles. The wizard often noticed something after these sessions. Small coincidences, helpful opportunities, unexpected solutions to problems. He called them small miracles, not supernatural events, just moments when attention, gratitude, and effort seemed to align. The ethical question. The wizard had heard stories about transferring consciousness between bodies or machines, but he always approached such ideas carefully. Modern science has not demonstrated anything like full consciousness transfer between humans. However, research into brain-computer interfaces is advancing quickly. Scientists can already help paralyzed patients control robotic arms, allow people to type using neural signals, monitor brain patterns during meditation or sleep. The wizard believed future technologies might deepen our understanding of consciousness, but always within ethical guidelines. The multiverse lesson. Back in the imaginary classroom, Homer finally asked the big question. "So, wizard, can I meet another version of myself?" The wizard smiled. "In a way, you already do. Every decision creates a slightly different version of your life. The future is a landscape of possibilities. Your choices determine which path you walk." The wizard's conclusion. As the stars brightened overhead, the wizard closed his notebook. He realized something that years of searching had slowly revealed. The greatest mystery was not secret programs or hidden technologies. The greatest mystery was consciousness itself. Why we are aware, how we think, how imagination shapes the future. And perhaps the most powerful form of time travel was simply this: learning from the past, acting wisely in the present, building a better future. The wizard raised his cup of tea toward the night sky. "To curiosity," he said. And somewhere, in the wizard's imaginary classroom, Homer Simpson nodded thoughtfully before asking where the donuts were. God bless. Global Robotics Corporation, Robert Colee.